That's been in church all these years and get some people that ain't been in church, that don't know nothing about church, that don't know nothing about clapping their hands, but they'll come in church and get trained, and they'll learn what it means to pray, and they'll outpraise folk that been saved for 50 years.
Yeah. I know you're right. I know you're right. Yes,
Paul said to Timothy, he said, listen, I want to remind you, Timothy, of what's on the inside of you. See, the reason why some people is not using their gifts is because they forgot it's there.
All right.
Oh, God. They forgot that it's in them. And there are some things that are channeled through the DNA.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be careful who you stay connected to.
Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. I said you got to be careful who you stay connected to, because there are such things as generational curses. Wait a minute. We can really shout right here, because there is another such thing as generational blessing. And we are alive right now because we are recipients of generational blessings. We are the seed of Abraham, and God promised Abraham that I will bless your seed. That's why you're getting blessed and you don't deserve to. It's just because God is keeping his word. It's just because God is saying that I'm going to do exactly what I said I'm going to do. Touch somebody and tell them it ain't about you and it ain't about me. Because God is just keeping his word. Paul said, I want to remind you of the unstained faith. In other words, he said, I want to remind you of the faith that refused to give up. I want to remind you of the faith that refused to quit at the first sign of trouble. I want to remind you of the faith that refused to take no for an answer. I want to remind you of the faith that refused to believe the report of the doctor, but dared to believe the report of the Lord. I want to remind you of the faith that was in your mama, and not only in your mama, but in your grandmama too. Paul said, I have no doubt that if it was in them, it's got to be in you. I don't know about you, but I thank God for godly parents. I thank God for godly examples, people that show me how to live right. Y'all accept us here. Not just people that talk it, but they actually live what they talk. I'm tired of hearing people talking loud and ain't saying nothing. I'm tired of people talking about what they are and ain't living nothing. Y'all ain't saying much here. It's time not to say one thing and doing another, but it's time to live what you preach about, live what you sing about, live what you dance about. You can't come in church and tell me God's gonna make a way, and when you get outside, you crying over a little light bill. What the same God that you just got to shout 45 minutes about, somebody he's gonna make a way, but now you scared about a bill?
Come on now.
The bill belongs to him. Oh, you need word to back it up. Psalms 24:1. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. So everything that's on earth belongs to him. I ain't got to stress over it. I ain't got to worry about it, because if God has pre-orchestrated and preordained this to happen and predestined this to happen, please understand, God already knows how he's going to bring me out.
I know you're right.
Can somebody tell him God already has a plan? Come on, tell me, God already has a plan. He has a plan for your life. He said in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of good and not of evil, thoughts of peace. And God said, I want to bring you to, watch this, and expect it in. In other words, a predestined end. God already knew your end before you had a beginning.
I know you're right. I know you're right.
Before you had a fingerprint, before you had an identity. Watch this, let me take it all the way back. Before your mama and daddy ever were flirting, God already knew how he was going to bring you out. Y'all ain't said much here. Even before your mama and daddy was even thought about, before the foundation of the earth, God already knew what he was going to do in your life. Tell somebody God has the master plan. I feel like preaching on the first night. He said, it's gotta be in you.
Yeah, got to be it.
Because it was in them.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is remind you that it's there. And the way that I'm going to remind you is by laying my hands on you. Not that there's power in my hands, but as a point of contact. See, every now and then, just like every now and then, we just need to be able to feel like God is right there.
Yes.
Has anybody ever just said, Lord, let me feel you one more time?
Yeah.
Lord, please. Hey, Lord, I just want to make sure you're still with me. So Lord, let me feel you. Lord, please. Hey, Lord, I know I messed up this week. I know I said something I wasn't supposed to. I know I did something I wasn't supposed to. So Lord, please, let me feel you. Just so I know you still with me. Touch yourself and tell them when I woke up this morning, I had to shake myself and make sure I was still anointed.